You're watching Nickbox.com. My name is Nick, and this is my box. Lately I've been reading through a lot of my old notebooks, and I found a lot of very interesting things about myself that I frankly don't even remember. I read somewhere in one of these books that I was looking at going into the physical sciences, that is until I took choir, and now my job is to work with computers. I enjoy my job, but it's very interesting to go back and read the things that I wanted to do when I was younger. One of the consistent things I've always wanted to do was to write, and now I am working on that. I'm not going to give up my day job anytime soon. Writing is definitely a hobby, but that doesn't mean that I can't take it seriously. One of the other things I noticed in my old notebooks is that there are far more empty pages than there are pages that are filled. I mean, look at all these notebooks. That's a lot of empty pages. And even though I do most of my writing on the computer these days, some things haven't changed. There's still a lot of empty pages. But computer support is not the only job I've ever had. It's just one in a long line of many, most of which have revolved around being a nerd. I did a lot of retail jobs, but a few things that were actually quite interesting as a video editor, which really doesn't make this that much easier. Because a lot of video that came to me already had the content and already had a script written, whereas I have to come up with a script. But then I got to thinking, that's writing. Well, mostly ad-libbing. But the point of it is to tell a story. And what an interesting story it'll be once I actually get my book published. One of the other cool jobs that I've had in my long career of jumping from job to job has been working in the film industry. Now that job was a lot of fun. I worked on movies like 310 to Yuma, Sunshine Cleaning, The Spirit, and a few others that probably will never see the light of the day, and in fact, probably shouldn't ever see the light of day. As a matter of fact, I remember the first time my brother called me up and said, "Hey, I just looked you up on the internet, and I found you on IMDb." For those of you who do not know what IMDb is, it is the Internet Movie Database, a database of all things movie. And no, I never did any acting. Welcome to the desert of the screen. Or this. Or this.
Stop your jabbering, Marlowe. Get 'em, boys.
Okay, well maybe a little. But that is not on Internet Movie Database. The movies that I worked on, I did accounting and production secretary stuff. I got to meet a lot of really interesting people, including some celebrities. If you want to read more, you can click on the link over here or down below in the video pants. So how did I get from working in the film industry, which is a pretty cool job, to doing computer work? I'm not saying that computer work isn't interesting, but it's not nearly as interesting as working in movies. Basically, the last job I had in the film industry was working on a little movie called Easier with Practice, and I was the craft service guy. Now, craft service basically provides snacks to the cast and the crew, which in itself was a very interesting job, except for the fact that I had to work roughly 18-hour days and then go shopping for the food and snacks. That wasn't so much fun. And that happened to be right about the time when we had the writer's strike. So when that movie was over and it was time to find another job, there weren't any available. I had to go find real work, which was a good thing because that meant I had regular hours. But I'm starting to think those regular hours are highly overrated because I'm getting into a routine and the day-to-day things get in the way of me doing the interesting things like writing. I haven't done a whole lot of writing, but I have done a fair amount of reading, and that is very, very inspiring to make me want to finish one of these. Until next time, thanks for being awesome.